Hey everybody, this is Diane, and I have the third ice cream journal ready. So this one is a little bit different than the first two that I made, quite a bit different, but it has some of the same elements. I made some of the ephemera for this at the same time as I was making it for the other journals, so that helped me finish this up a little more quickly because I already had some of the ephemera done. And I was gifted this book in a Happy Mail, and I kind of think it was Sarah, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But she sent me some things that she knew I was going to be working on in upcoming journals, including some ice cream things and this book, The Good Humor Man. I used to read this book to my granddaughter, Monica, when she was little, and so that has good memories for me. She really liked this book. And it's not an old copy of the book. I didn't look at the date, actually. Well, it does say 1992, but I don't think it was used. It looks like a brand new book. So, as you can see, it's called The Good Humor Man, and if you don't know, The Good Humor Man was a man who drove an ice cream truck around the neighborhoods. We have Mr. Softy in my neighborhood, in my childhood, and we do have an ice cream truck around here, but I don't know if it's got a brand name. Anyway, they play music so the children know that it's coming and they can run to their moms and get their money and run out to meet the truck, and it's just a really fun experience in the summer for the children. So that's what I used to make the cover, and I put a chenille on the spine, pink, and this darker pink chenille. I used a bright pink string, waxed thread for tying the signatures in, sewing signatures in, and I covered the back part with this printed cardstock. It's pale pink, if you can't tell. It's kind of hard to tell the colors on the video. And I thought this fun journal needed a fun charm, so these were already made for me. A long time ago, I had gotten some ready-made charms. This one was tied on a wax thread, and it's got a lot of pinks in it. And this one has a cherry dangle, which is perfect for the cherry on top of the ice cream. I tied it with this pink gingham sash. The complete story is in here. I did not erase the numbers, though. That I write numbers on the pages in pencil, so I make sure I put them in the right order. This charm is attached with this piece, and it has a large, long brad legs on it. And the way, in order to have this oriented the right way, the brads go up and down, the legs go up and down, so it would stick out at the top a little bit. So I cut it off, which made it sharp. So I covered that brad with this just embroidered thread or ribbon. I didn't use the digital kit in the journal except for one page, but I printed a page for the front and back. I just cut it in half and divided it between the front and back covers to cover that up. Alright, so it has 3 signatures. The story is in the first signature and the third, and the middle signature does not have the storybook pages, but it has other pages in it, obviously. So this is a digital, and it is from Sweet Pea Curiosities. And I printed it, as I said the other day, I printed it on a typing paper, vintage typing paper that has the pebbled texture, which is very similar to the old ice cream bags. So I printed that on there so you can feel it, but it's on cardstock and it's a pocket. I included this ice cream recipe card from the Betty Crocker recipe card library, and I put this guest check in here so you can write your name and maybe some information about what this journal will be about right there. There's no label on the inside here to write your name. I put eyelet on the front of each signature, and I added the same pom-pom trims that I used on the other journals. And you have some journaling spaces there. I added just a couple of little punch outs I paper clipped some things to some of the pages, like this bingo paper and this beautiful little card. It's so cute. And I love this pink striped awning and the color, and I thought it would be perfect for this journal. You can take it out and do whatever you like with it. You can use the pieces that are paper clipped throughout the book, do some collaging with them. On the back of this paper clip is a drink label for She Cherry Aid. Here's the first page of the Good Humor Man story. The title page. And there he is, the Good Humor Man. There's wrapping paper with ice cream cones on it. This is resume paper. So I didn't do as much embellishing in this journal, but it has different kinds of embellishments too because of the type of journal it is. This one is just a flap that you can write on, collage on, and you can write on that space. Here's a pocket. I did use embellishments from the same journal kits that I used in the other journals. This is a vintage magazine image, and I made a little collage or decorations on a shipping tag. And I used the rest of the tickets. I can't believe I used all the tickets. Of course, I did tuck some in as extras in some of the pockets in the other journals, but I used up all the rest of them in this journal. Here is a page from a recipe book, Betty Crocker recipe book about ice cream and cold drinks. It has the same square doily, which I folded up and I lined the pocket with a pink polka dot acetate so that things don't get caught into that delicate lace. And these are just some printables that I had already printed. They're not ice cream themed, they just match the colors. It's one of the fussy cuts from the digital. A dyed paper and the bright pink thread. Everybody's going to the Good Humor Man's truck. I just added a little vintage sheet that you can write on here and a little digital of an embroidery. And just to decorate this white page, I edge punched a strip of scrapbook paper and glued it there. I had a scrap of a rectangular doily, so I just used that behind this little pocket piece just to give it some interest. This is the back part of that recipe book, and the back part had cold drinks and not ice cream. There's some children kneeling in the sand with their sand shovels. This has some tropical kind of drinks there. So you could collage all over that if you don't want to have that because it doesn't have ice cream on it. This word, Sundays, came out of a vintage magazine. And this came out of a children's book. This was also from Sarah. Ice Cream Man with his little truck, just like the Good Humor Man. And I covered the back with a scrapbook paper that you can write on. Thank you, Sarah, for your gifts, for helping me make this journal and other journals. This is the resume paper, and I stamped Choose Joy on it. I just used some random printed embellishments that I had in my stash. There's another ticket from the digital. It's a pocket here, and I think this came from Sarah also. We had very bright colors, numbers on the back, and this is more of a pastel. Actually, it would go well with this page, but I covered that with paper you can journal on. It just has an ice cream cone on the front. One ice cream cone. And this came out of the ice cream recipe book. Ice cream party style. I did not back it with paper to write on because I thought you might want to cut these children out and use them to embellish your pages. Or you can add paper to the back and write on it if you'd like. Here's some recipes for sauces to put on your, you can write on the back, to put on your ice cream. I didn't do fabric flips in here, but I did do chenille strips. You've got space for writing and collaging here, adding pictures. Each signature on the back page, this is the long stem of that brad. The cutoff piece is what I covered with the ribbon because it was sharp. On the back page of each signature, there is a vintage ice cream wrapper. So this one is a digital, but this is the real thing. And you must be careful with it because they are vintage and they're thin paper. So don't shove this in there. Carefully slide it in so that you don't pull on the sides and tear there. But I made this tag to go in there. And in the second signature, we have another of the digital ice cream wrappers on a pocket. And this tag is the same one I used in the other journals. And an envelope from the kit. And I stamped Delight. And on the edge of this eyelet, I added this ribbon trim, or daisy trim with the pink centers. Here's another bingo sheet that I paper clipped on, and another little adorable greeting card. It's got the little ribbon on there. And another drink label, the Naturalist Club Soda. So you probably wouldn't find that on an ice cream truck, but in an ice cream parlor you would. Wrapping paper again, and here's another digital of a ice cream wrapper. It's on the typing paper. And I made this little pocket with a couple of scraps, just layered them up, added a recipe. There's a guest check, another recipe. This is for vanilla ice cream, and it has American type and French type. So you can see the differences in the two types of ice cream and try them out if you'd like. It has the whole recipe there. And a digital tag. And this is from a dictionary. Ice cream, a smooth, sweet, frozen food made of milk or cream and sweeteners. It comes in many flavors. This has a bunch of things in the pocket. It has a digital lotto card, 2 digital tags, a real lottery from the 1970s, 1972, and a little ephemera piece that came with a pack of ephemera. Live more, worry less. Eat ice cream. It doesn't say that, but that's one way you can live more. Enjoy the things in life. Another digital ice cream wrapper. Here is the vintage National Dairy Council ice cream die cut. Chocolate ice cream. It does not look chocolate to me. And this digital that I had decorated this tag. This is the one page that I printed for this journal, because this is the center signature that doesn't have the storybook pages in it. And I wanted to put an ice cream paper in here. There's another digital. And a few things tucked in. Ice cream is fun. And this is a digital ice cream wrapper. Crockery City ice cream bar. It's foil. I glued it to cardstock and then folded it around the edge of the page. This is a not a digital, this is a real label for peppermint cordial. Something else you might find in an ice cream parlor. And just a digital card. And that's just a cut off scrapbook paper. It's another piece of chenille here. There's my little ice cream man with his cart. This came with one of the kits, and I had this little strip of wrapping paper left, so I stuck it in there. I have more, but this was just laying on my table, so I tucked it in there so you can do something with it. And a recipe for soda fountain shakes. Just a scrap here and a little digital that came with one of the kits. This is a vintage wrapper that I mentioned in the other journal flip through. This one is more fragile than the one that I originally showed you. And so I put a strip of acetate right across there to protect that edge as you go in and out with the tag. And this is a blue inventory tag. This is a digital. This was regular paper. Didn't have that texture, but seeing this, I do remember ice cream wrappers that were like this. I remember the textured ones too. But I do remember popsicles that looked like that. That was so much fun, having a freezer of a box of popsicles in the freezer. Sometimes we got to have the whole popsicle, but usually my mom broke them in half and we had to just have a half a popsicle at a time. And that's a digital. This is the last signature. Another bingo paper and another beautiful little card. Please come to my birthday party. Ice cream is often featured at birthday parties and balloons. You can journal on the inside. And a label for She cream soda. Wrapping paper. I have to put something in there. There's a pocket that didn't get anything in there. This opens up so you can journal on it, and I just put one of the Pennsylvania lottery tickets up there, and there's my little guy with his cart stamped again. And this says simple pleasures. The ice cream sandwiches made with cookies. This is from a very old magazine. Ice cream at home can be easily, quickly, and cheaply obtained by using the celebrated White Mountain freezer, with which cream can be frozen in less time than in any other freezer made. This is a positive fact, and we can prove it. You'll have to finish reading the rest yourself if you buy this journal. I got an ice cream cone at our local ice cream stand, and it had this joy wrapper at the bottom of the cone, so I took it off and saved it. It's perfect as a little belly band. I put some chenille on that tag. And I'll have to stick something in here too. There's an ice cream truck like his ice cream truck. Enjoy. And on this pocket, I put this. It came on a really funky 70s dessert recipe book thing. I just got it not too long ago, and I love all the funky colors and designs. And I saved this part out of it for the ice cream journal. And this came out of the vintage recipe book. This one was from the 70s. This one is from 50s or 60s. There's another drink label and a couple tickets just stuck there, and another piece of chenille. And the last vintage ice cream bag. This one isn't as fragile as the others, and it's gusseted. I would still be careful with it. It doesn't have that texture. It's just a glassine bag. Sammy Bar ice cream sandwich. And I just stuck a plain tag in there that you can do something with. Just took a scrap of the scrapbook paper. This one I did decorate and put it in this pocket that has another digital ice cream wrapper. So this is a fun book. I think it would be great for summer memories, if that's what you would like to do with it. And or just whatever memories you want to put in there. I didn't put my signature in here yet, so I will put that on the back of this tag. I hope you enjoyed this ice cream series. I'll be moving on to something else next, and I hope you'll come along for that. I enjoyed the ice cream series. I went and got ice cream at least twice while I was making these journals, but they did take me a while to make. So I will see you in the next video, and I hope you're having a creative day today. Bye-bye.